So, what happened today at ViVE 2026, wrapping up day 2? For today, you're in for an extra special treat. Rather than listening to me drone on about my conference recap for day 2, I thought I would gather some Swaay Health community members to give their opinions. And graciously, 3 of them agreed to come on camera. You're about to hear Shereese Maynard, Dani Patterson, and Matt DiVenere talk about what they found attractive at the conference today, what they thought about some of the exhibits they saw here in the exhibit hall, and just the overall vibe of ViVE. I think you're really gonna like hearing their opinions. Let's get to it.
Swaay Health.
Yeah, ViVE 2026 was my first time here at ViVE after many years of working behind the scenes and being able to do this presentations and everything else behind the scenes. Now actually being boots on the ground for this was very exciting, something that I was looking forward to for a long time. I think the audience had some life to it. I think the sessions that were timely and had great content shined through, and I think that's why they were heavily visited and attended for the most part. And I think those sessions that may or may not have been sales pitches didn't have as high as attendance as they may have hoped for. So, Jerry, how about you?
Well, I think that attendance may have been impacted by the blizzards all over the place.
Yes.
So you really can't get mad at that. But I think the people who are in attendance, what I noticed about them is they're more engaging this year. Like even at the tables, the way ViVE set this all up, people are talking to each other where you normally see them like off in their little corners doing their little thing. It was engaging. Like even if I sat down to have a coffee or whatever, it would start a conversation about innovation in healthcare, which is really what we need, right?
Yeah. Shereese, to build off of it, one of the things that I love most about ViVE is that it's always about connection. It doesn't seem to matter whether it's a vendor, whether it's an exhibitor, whether it's just an attendee. It is always about connection. And they do that in every single stage, whether it's out here in the cafe, whether it's on the floor, whether it's walking to the conference center.
Right. I think we do need to take a pause and say that they really do a good job with creating an aesthetic for everybody here. Shout out to them because, you know, they are the unsung heroes. We don't see them much. We don't hear from them. But all of this is possible because of the hard work that they did.
Yeah. We get an inside view because of some of our sponsorships with Chime, and I love getting to know some of the people behind the curtain, if you will, whenever it comes to ViVE specifically. Just knowing where they are and spotting them throughout the floor, it gives you this little sense of pride as an event manager. You get really excited knowing who's who, and that they're the ones making all of this happen in the background.
I've seen this at a number of different conferences. Not only just ViVE today, but when I was at AWS reInvent and a few other ones at Knowledge as well, the tchotchkes seem to have either slowed down or are a bit guarded when it comes to the vendor on who actually gets it. I did have a couple experiences here where I was actively talking with the booth members and I was allowing them to scan my badge and everything else like that, and I still was not given anything, even to the point of kind of an awkward position of me asking for it and getting a no. So I do think that is something to keep an eye on. I know us at Optimum, we really make sure that when we do bring something to an event, it is number one going to be pretty popular or something that people are looking forward to, or it's on theme.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Historically, one of my favorite ones was the skyscraper you guys did one year. I don't know if you weren't here for that.
No.
I'm an oldie, so you guys did a little skyscraper, and I thought that was the most innovative thing because it mirrored what the building was that we were in the city.
Cool. Very cool.
Well, we've talked a little bit about that too, where at these types of shows, it's more advantageous for brands to take a chance and go into a theme and do something that makes you stand out. I saw a number of vendors that were out there on the floor doing something with their booths, with the giveaways, with the way that they dress. I saw some people with some superhero capes on out there. I saw some coordinated outfits as well, a lot of pink and red.
Did you see the massive stuffed teddy bear today that was dressed up, walking around?
Yeah. So I think the brands that got my attention that were out there took that leap of faith and really bought into the theme that was out there, and they made it their own. I think that was pretty significant because there were moments when I was walking around again as a first timer trying to figure out who actually attends this event, what the investment should look like for the coming years for the organization, I saw a lot of copy and paste, a lot of brands that just didn't take that risk. And for me, the white backgrounds that blended in with just the words up top, and as the content guy, I'm calling the words out. If it didn't tell what you did as a brand, or it didn't tell your why well enough, I just kept walking past you, especially in a huge conference like this.
Yeah, in that massive venue. What I love is that Matt is bringing these fresh eyes to ViVE. You know, I feel like you come to ViVE, and ViVE itself is a singular brand, and it's while it's fresh and exciting, it's still the same. It's what we've had for the last few years. And what's so neat is that Matt's bringing this new perspective coming out onto the floor. That it's, you know, what's something that I've seen before, and what's something that's never been done before.
And I will say with the tchotchkes, the giveaways, I think one of the things that teams need to understand that those are not giveaways, right? They're ways, they're paths to partnerships, they're paths to building a relationship. It's an engagement tool. And it's such a missed opportunity when you don't take advantage of that. And I think a lot of them don't get that. I'm like, if you want to come here and just sell stuff, sell shoes. But we're here to engage. You know, we're trying to change outcomes, change lives. So what we need to do is engage. Give the socks away, give the stuffed animal away if it furthers that conversation. Don't say no and then expect that person to engage with you next week. Right?
All goes back to that point of connection.
Heidi was all over the place, and they've been doing that lately, and I think because they're not new, but they're new to the conferences and the way that they're showing up this year. I was so impressed with them. Their team, very attentive to everybody. As soon as I got into the booth, they started talking to me. One person even knew me from online and started talking to me, so it was really great. And they knew their product. So they recently released evidence, and I was like, oh, I tried to get a scoop on it before the conference. They wouldn't tell me, so they kept their lips sealed on that, but they were able to explain it in a way, and they were able to tell me the feedback they were getting from the early adopters and that type of thing. So I was really impressed with them.
Yeah. I was going to say Heidi as well. I mean, that team knew their stuff. They are stamped all over this conference, from the screens behind us to everywhere on the floor. They made a splash the moment you walked in the door.
I guess we would give a shout out to definitely Hyro, because Hyro with the games, they never fail. It's like that is an attraction that you cannot overlook. Like watching people try to play the game they had this time with the dropping opportunities. That was amazing to watch, and they got a lot of traffic that way.
And the fact that they had each branded, so each opportunity dropped was labeled.
Exactly. So that was quite amazing to see. And they never fail to amaze me. There's no time you're going to go to the booth and say, okay, we've seen that before. Nope, you haven't, as a matter of fact. We're doing something new. So it's kind of nice in that they do know their solution, and they're very good at what they do. They've been doing it for years. They don't change so much. They did have a new product, but it wasn't so much about bringing something new as it to saying, hey, we're your old friends. We're still going to do the best we can for you in this space.
Yeah, those are all great points. I have a question to ask both of you as a first timer. What did you think of the attendance during this? So from my perspective, the hands that I shook and the pats in the back and the QR codes that I scanned, a lot of vendors, a lot of teams that were coming out here that were not from the health systems as much as I thought from what I heard. However, with that said, if an organization was there looking for partnerships, looking for vendors that build the relationships in those networks, I felt like this was the place to be. Is this something that has happened more recently? Is this something that has always been part of ViVE, or what do you think as folks who have been here before?
Matt, I feel like it's a new thing this year. It's not something that I've experienced. Now, I don't go way back with ViVE. I've only been a couple of years, but this is something that I've not seen before. So usually we have a very different crowd, and I feel like you're right. This year we've got a lot of vendors, we've got a lot of exhibitors. So the positive in it is that you are able to figure out what those partnerships look like. I mean, our organization was able to get together with partnerships that have been in the talks, where we've been able to actually sit down face to face and have those conversations, rather than the team talk, the Zoom call, whatever that is, but actually have face to face conversations.
Yeah, it's true. Those fruitful conversations conversations happened here over instead of the emails back and forth. I mean, I even had a few vendors come over to me and say, let's just hash this out over 20 minutes instead of having a follow-up after.
Exactly.
So that was like, for me, that was worth its weight in gold. I think it was just having that pivot moment and saying, okay, yes, there may not be as many health system leaders currently here, and if they are, they're on stage at some point. But having the ability to pivot and say, hey, let's look at the partners that are here. Let's look how we can make healthcare better. That's the spot that I like.
That's exactly it.
And it just, when you think about it, it depends on your mindset. If you're a negative person or a positive person, think about this. If I come into this hall, it's not about what customers are here, but is my customer here? So that's what I'm looking for. You'll never sell to every person that walks in this door, so why are you looking for them? Is your customer here? You need to identify them, and that's what you go after. And at the end of the day, when you work towards the positive that is here, that's when you build those relationships and get stuff done. I would never worry about the attendance. I would worry about the why. Is my person here? So, and those people are here. I got a couple of deals that I wasn't even expecting this time, but I got it done. So it's like, stop looking for everybody and look for your body, you know?
I think we all just need a little bit of Shereese positivity in our life. Let's just cut that out, quote it, put it on a sticker, a hat, you know, whatever we need. Yeah, that, we all need a little bit more of that in our lives.
You know, I think teams need to, it goes back, like I said, tell them why they're here. You know, you don't need to worry about talking to 100 people if the 2 people you talk to end up doing business with.
That's exactly it.
All right, give me your final thought on ViVE 2026.
I loved it. I'm the type of person, if it's more intimate, you get more done. You get to experience people in a different way. And the people who were here this year were amazing. Like I said, ViVE's team, you cannot say enough about them creating a moment. So I loved it. I look forward to coming back again. And I'm glad there's some new people here because they do have those fresh perspectives that we can benefit from.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I keep coming back to this week is that the whole purpose of us being here is that we're here to make sure our clients are seen, known, and connected, and we're also we're here to make sure that Optimum is seen, known, and connected with those clients. And I think that we've succeeded in exponential ways in that specifically, purely just through the touch points of speaking engagements, whether that's a reception, whether that's them stopping by the booth, or our team going out and seeking them out. I am confident that we've achieved our goal in that.
Yeah, and a big shout out to the Chime team. I think that group was instrumental in having me have a good time as a Chime partner. I feel like they came over to me more times than I ever imagined and checked on me to see if there's anything new, and it was great.
They purposely put the coffee stations very, uniquely placed where I could always get a cup of coffee.
Deep into the room.
I was like, there's coffee everywhere.
Yeah, keep it flowing. I like that. Yeah. No, so the Chime did a great job, and I'm very much looking forward to next time.
Hey, I really want to thank Matt, Shereese, and Dani for being willing to join me on camera to talk about their thoughts of ViVE 2026 here on day 2. I really appreciated their honest opinion. I thought some of the tips that Shereese gave were fantastic. And I really liked the different perspectives, right? You had Matt, this is his first time being at the show. You have Shereese, who has been here many, many times since the very beginning. And you had Dani right in between the 2 of them. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed listening to them talk. And hey, if you made it this far in the video, we would really appreciate it if you could mash that like button and click subscribe. Also, head on over to Swaay Health, that's Swaay with 2 A's, .health, where you can find more great content like this. I'm Colin Hung here in Los Angeles, California. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.